Hello, everyone. My name is MrJepthah, and welcome to my commentary for Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, whatever I decided to call this thing. This was a review I did exactly a year ago. Um, as kind of a retrospective, I wanted to look back on it and give it a bit of a talk about it a little bit, talk about some of the things that I decided to do, and things I wish I had done better. I'm of the opinion that if you make a video, you should want to watch it, because it's the kind of video that you like. That's exactly what I do with my videos. I watch my videos a lot. That's not a narcissistic thing. It's just I make videos that I want to watch. And so I've watched this video quite a few times, and I've got some stuff to say about it because it is I've got problems with it, but overall I'm pretty happy with what I did. And starting with this, I'm not a fan of how I did this. I made this way too slow. And listen, putting an opening crawl in your videos, I think is really great and it's really funny. But for what I was trying to go for, it's too slow. It's 100% too slow, and I wish I had just sped it up a little bit. I think I fixed that in my last May the 4th video. This video was to celebrate the Revenge, not the Revenge of the Sith, the Phantom Menace 25th year anniversary. And subsequently, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, a game that I really loved, was also technically getting its 25th anniversary. And I'd actually wanted to do a video on Episode 1 Racer for a long time. And it was just finally, when I found out it was the 25th anniversary for the Phantom Menace, I was like, oh, well, that's fantastic. That's a perfect opportunity for me to do Episode 1 Racer. And at that point, I wasn't really doing review videos the way that I am now. It was just silly gameplay stuff, and I wanted to do a more scripted format, and I wanted to do something that was funny and quickly paced and everything, and this was not really the first. I think the Transformers video was actually the first one that I did that I really, really loved, in the scripted format and funny and everything. But this was definitely the first as far as video games are concerned. Video games are just easier to make fun of and do these kinds of videos on than movies, at least to me, because you can mess around with the game and there's a lot more stuff that you can play around with in a game than you can with a movie. But the reason that I do a lot of these games based on movies and stuff like that is because that way I can talk about the movie and still make fun of the movie or do whatever funny bit I want to in relation to the movie. So that's a little bit of behind the scenes of why I'm doing a lot of movie tie-ins. It's just so I could talk about the movie. And in this particular case, Episode 1 Racer was a game that I grew up with, and I wanted to talk about it. And I am not a fan of this border. I was at the time. Going back now, if I could do it right now, I would not have put that border up in front of the movie footage. I don't think it was necessary. I was just too afraid of getting copyright struck, and honestly, with as little of the footage as I use and with as much as I change it and distort it, there was no need for me to put the border up. I like elements of the border, I will say that, but also, I should also add this. The way these videos, these first few videos, I think just in the first season are edited, are not edited super well because I was using iMovie, and some people could probably tell right away. For example, the Ken Burns effect used a lot in iMovie, and it's very apparent when iMovie is used. And so I used iMovies for a lot of these earlier videos, pretty much every video in the first season. Now I have Final Cut Pro, it's a lot better. I did legitimately want to. I remember me and my brother went to go see, I think it was the Joss Whedon Justice League when that first came out, in a movie theater, and it was a bad movie theater. a really gross old movie theater, a cheap one. Let's just put it that way. When Justice League was coming out, and there was an episode 1 racer arcade machine there. We didn't have time to actually stop by and play it. I wish I had. But it was there, and I was hoping it still was when I made this video. And I called them to see if they had the arcade machine still. They did not. And I was disappointed because I had this whole bit where I was going to go there and play it, and I had it in the script, and it just didn't work out. And it's unfortunate. And then that movie theater actually ended up closing like a week or two after I had called them. Like it was gone. It was shut down all of a sudden, and I was like, I just called them. What happened? But yeah, I wish I had done something with my hair. I'm actually just now noticing, looking at this, that my hair is and that's one of the things that I notice a lot when rewatching these videos is my hair. There's all kinds of things that happen with it, and that's not a good effect, and I wish I could do that again. But this is the little things that, that's the entire reason I wanted to do a commentary of this. Yeah, so my hair, in a lot of these videos, is just, it's so bad, and either needs to be cut, or I just needed to do something about it. Sometimes, like, I only being a dad and everything like that, having 2 kids, I only have so much time that I can film these videos. So whenever I get the chance to, I basically just run and do it. Like, I don't really do anything with my hair. I'm like, oh, the cheese head will cover it up, and then it doesn't. I really just need to just comb it first before I record these things. Yeah, that was an error when I was talking about EA being the problem. It is also LucasArts. I mean, LucasArts is still a thing. Aside from EA, this is one thing that I will complain about constantly, is that it's Star Wars. You need to have an opening crawl. I get it. Some people have criticized that it's overdone. I get it. But like this thing, like, that's not going to be overused for long. But a lot of these games like had the opening crawls, and I celebrate that because I think that is an important part of Star Wars, is the opening crawls. And I get that it might not fit the tone of whatever it might be. Ahsoka, for example, was more of a samurai movie, or show, should have been a movie. I don't care. I think that it still should have. I just the nerd in me, the fan of this stuff and the fan of the opening crawls. I'm very opinionated about the opening crawls specifically. I'm also way too much of a nerd. I didn't even have to look up who these characters were, and I knew it was Fode and Bede. And Greg Proops I do really like, from like Whose Line Is It Anyway and stuff like that. But yeah, it was the nerd in me, like, just, I knew who was talking and who should have been talking and all that. It was just weird, and so I had to point it out in the video. This was a fun little opening cinematic that you don't get in the N64 version, which is what I grew up with. So when I literally played this for the first time on my Switch, I was actually very surprised. I had never seen it before. And so I actually thought it was pretty cool. And yeah, this game is very dark. I don't know how this got an E rating. There's children blowing up. I mean, like, little Anakin can blow up in this thing. Yeah, I will do anything to throw shade at Rise of Skywalker. I hate that movie with a passion. I really do. It's a bad movie. I'm not going to talk about that here, but that's a discussion for another time, I guess. Yeah, and that's dark. Like, even having Gazgano blow up like that is just, it's funny to me. This screen, it does really irritate me. I do really hate the screen. The logo being in front of Anakin and Sebulba's faces, that really annoys me. I think that even annoyed me as a kid. Actually, that's going to be too embarrassing, because, I mean, I grew up with this stuff, and that was just, I literally just copy and pasted the Wikipedia article for the Phantom Menace onto a Word document and then just made a bunch of black lines. I would do that better now. I will say that. But yeah, no, I had a plate, plastic plate back in the day with those pictures of Anakin and Sebulba on them. So those images are very iconic and nostalgic for me. And the fact that it's covered up here just annoyed me to no end. And then there were a couple of other things that I wanted an expert's opinion on. So I did reach. When I say I reached out to a graphic design friend, I really did, because I don't know the first thing about graphic design, and so I bet you couldn't tell by my thumbnails. So I legitimately wanted to ask somebody's opinion on that, and he did give me some thought about that. I do love how the droid walks away like Shaggy, and I looked forever. I could not find anything, a GIF or a video or anything, or GIF, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't find anything of Shaggy sneaking and tiptoeing like that. I couldn't. I don't know what I was looking for the wrong thing, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Tobey Maguire's voice acting in this game is horrible. I actually don't think I really like Tobey Maguire as an actor. Oh, this Big the Cat joke, and this particularly calling it a Pokemon thing was ad-libbed on the spot. I literally said Sonic, and then I ad-libbed Pokemon because it just came to my head, and I thought it was funny, but I'm actually rather proud of that joke. I think that's one of the first things that, like, somebody told me about this video. I can't remember if it was my cousin or my brother was like, I really love the Big the Cat joke. And I was like, yeah, okay, I gotcha. This wasn't a bit. This was legit. When I was recording, I could not figure out how to start it. This was the first time I played it in a while. I couldn't figure out how to go. And so, of course, a little bit of editing helped with it. It didn't really take this long for me to figure it out, but but no, this legitimately, I had stopped and it was perfect because of the movie and everything like that. So that was very legit and very helpful for me, for the video's sake, that I could not figure that out for a few seconds. I do think that's stupid, having the accelerate button be the trigger button. I did get people commenting on the video, and even some people told me in DMs and stuff like that, like, you do realize that, like, racing games, like, you use the trigger for a lot of those. And I don't, because I don't play a lot of racing games. I literally use the Mario Kart comparison because that's the only racing game that I play. And that one is one of the face buttons be the button to accelerate with. I don't know why I did the Arkham Knight joke here. I think it's because of pressing and holding the trigger button to activate the tank mode. But you can just toggle that. That's not that big of a deal. So I don't know why I did that necessarily. But yeah, no, I don't play a lot of racing games, so I had no idea that the right trigger button was, like, the normal accelerate. But I mean, seriously, like, come on, just make it one of the face buttons, and then use the right trigger for the boost button. Like, I don't know how difficult that is, and it still kind of makes me mad a little bit just thinking about it. And I don't think there's a way to fix it. I don't actually think I looked. I do all this complaining, and although it's Aspire, and they don't like to make a lot of control adjustments in their re-releases of these games. I think they're actually. This is another subject for another video, but maybe I'll do a whole video about Aspire's lazy re-releases and not, remaking the game from the ground up like they probably could. Probably could. I mean, they have the rights and everything to release them like this. Like, I don't know. Clean some problems up here and there. KOTOR is one of those games that I think is a buggy mess. Like KOTOR has always just been a buggy mess to me, and Aspire has not really done anything to fix that. And I think even this game had some bugs that I edited through, and yeah, they're just not fixing the games. They're not doing anything worthwhile. They're just releasing them to make a buck because, hey, you remember episode 1 Racer from your N64? Here it is. That's another subject for another video. Episode 1 Racer is a lot more boring than I remember, and yeah, it's probably because I was playing the early levels of the game. But I mean, the fact that each race is like 6 minutes long, each track, or well, some of the tracks are 6 minutes long, some of them are 2 minutes, like each lap. It is frustrating, and I got really tired of the game eventually. I still love it, and I love playing it, and I love, you know, how Star Warsy it feels, even for a kart racer. But it's long. Some of those races are just really, really long. I mean, yeah, and I think the majority of them. Mr. Peanut Juice Man. That's a character that I came up with him a long time ago for another video that I was trying to do. Actually, it was on Star Wars books, and I just wasn't getting anywhere with that video, and I canned that one a long time ago. But I had this character, Mr. Peanut Juice Man, that was just supposed to be like this curmudgeonly character that was just grumpy about the things that I was saying, and so I brought him back for this video because I liked that idea of having that kind of a character. And Mr. Peanut Juice Man was, I just like, when I'm creating characters and stuff like that, I just like the most randomest thing possible. The cheese head on my head is not like, you know, some sort of Packer paraphernalia, like my character is supposed to be a Packer fan. I literally just grabbed the silliest hat that I had, and I just use that for my character. Like, that's just my character now. Not that I'm wearing the cheese head in this video, because this was a Star Wars video. I had the robe and everything. But yeah, the cheese head, that was just a bit. Like, I just wanted a thing, and I wanted to wear a silly hat. That was the silliest hat I had. Had I had one of those tall cat in a hat stripe hats, you know, I would have worn that too. Like, I mean, just the silliest hat that I had, and so I just like creating random characters, and Mr. Peanut Juice Man, that's just a silly name, and so I just use that. Jepthah is a really random name. I came up with that actually when my brother were like slap happy one night playing games on his Switch. This was before I had a Switch, and he had me create a me for his Switch, and I think we were playing like Mario Kart or something like that. And so I was like, you just slap happy, just being super silly. I just called him Mr. Jepthah. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. Jepthah is a character in the Bible who makes a rash vow, but that wasn't what I was doing. I was just being silly. Jepthah. It's spelled different. I do love that Big Wheel reference. That's a random reference, but it's if you know, you know. Fun saying. That is a freaky looking character, and my first thought was, of course, the Spy Kids connection. That was the first thing I thought of. I love Kidster. That was another one of those things that it was not a bit. Like, this character is just really funny to me. Finish the race, of course, and you don't know anything about the pod races, and it's a great kid. I love that kid. As far as I know, none of the planets that are in, besides Tatooine, that are in Episode 1 Racer are not in anything else Star Wars. Like, I would have loved, like, Naboo, a Naboo or Coruscant level where you can race through there. But, you know, it is what it is. I think one of the things that sets this video apart, you know, it's a pilot, you could say. Like, I'm not so I think now I'm not so much interested in like reviewing like the gameplay elements of a game or anything like that. It's more about the Elon Musk. Man, there have been so many times I've watched videos on Episode 1 Racer since making this video, and I keep seeing like Elon Musk and Elon Mac being uh, having that connection there in one way or another. Um, it's just really funny to me. Um, so yeah, I was talking about something before Elon Musk got thrown up on there. Oh, the frame rate of this was really bad. And I've since fixed that now on my in OBS, but yeah, that framework was frame rate was really bad. Um, and yeah, I don't have those problems probably since the Mario video. I think was when I figured it out, and I finally fixed those. Um, yeah, I still really like Episode 1 Racer. I think it's a good game, but it's certainly not one of my favorites. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about right now because I have the I think I had to ad-lib a lot of this stuff, or I kind of rushed through the script, one or the other, because again, I was just so focused on doing a review and not doing so much the funny. I think now it's been well, it has been a year. And even now the videos that I'm working on right now, writing and producing and everything, like I am more interested in the funny than I am about the editing process. And I think I grew from that. I grew from doing the whole editing thing. Still need to talk about the game and gameplay elements and stuff like that. But you know, I'm not interested in necessarily reviewing. I just more interested in doing the funny. This was supposed to be a one-time thing, and in the other videos, I was not going to do this coming back thing again. But no, it kind of became one of the shticks. I don't like how dated this is, and that's not going to happen again. I'm not going to date my videos again by saying like 25th anniversary or blah blah blah. Well, except for maybe these commentaries, but I could talk more about those behind the scenes stuff on this. So that is the first video game review that I did on Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the 25th anniversary of that game. It's a rough video. I'm not a fan of my own video. I watch this one a lot, and there are so many times where I see something new for the first time that I'm like, you could have done it better this way and that way. And that's a whole part of the growth process of creating these things and writing these scripts and making these videos. And so on that front, I'm proud of it. But overall, this is I definitely have better videos than that. I'm going to be making some more of these commentary tracks for the 1-year anniversary of each of the videos coming out, because I think it's fun to talk about, you know, let them sit for a year and look back and talk about them and think about things that I could have done better, I could have fixed. Just overall some of my thoughts. But no, I think that this is that it's not a terrible video. I'm still really proud of it, and it's still going to stand as like the pilot. But you know, the pilots of shows are never good. But nevertheless, I like the video, and I hope you like the video too. I hope you stay tuned for more commentary that is going to be coming here on the second channel, and as we talk more behind the scenes stuff, decisions that I made either in the editing room, on the spot, or in the script, whatever the case may be. And maybe my thought process. So yeah, with that said, I guess I won't see you, and you probably won't see me if I don't do a face cam. But thank you so much for watching and sticking around. And I don't know how to end this.